Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we are taking a deep dive into a game that deserves way more attention than it's got. Nioh 2 originally released in 2020. This action RPG slash Souls-like game from Team Ninja still feels fresh and exciting in 2025. With so many new titles coming out every year, you might be wondering, is Nioh 2 still worth playing today in 2025? The short answer is yes, absolutely, but let's talk about why. We're going to cover the story, the cutscenes, the boss fight, the level design, the multiplayer, the combat systems, and how it compares to other games in this gene. So let's jump in. Nioh 2 is set in late 1500s Japan during a time of constant war and shifting power, but unlike your average historical setting, Nioh 2 blends real-life figures, Japanese folklore, and supernatural elements. You play as a custom character, a shiftling, meaning that you are part human and part yokai, which are spirits or demons from Japanese myth. Right from the start, the game sets a darker, more mystical tone than its predecessor. Throughout the story, you meet iconic warlords like Oda Nobunaga and a few others, but you are also fighting along or against creatures from that Japanese myth as well. The way Neo 2 blends the real people with the mystical beings is really something special. The cutscenes are well done, especially compared to other Souls like games. They are fully voiced, often cinematic, and help you feel connected to the characters around you. Even though your main character is silent, visually they are beautiful. The camera work, character animations, and the lighting are all top tier, and the game's tone is spiritual, intense, mysterious, comes through clearly. All while it may not be hit with the emotional heights of something like Ghost of Tsushima, the narrative stays compelling all the way through the game, from start to finish. Alright, let's talk about the real heart of Nioh 2, the boss fights. Nioh 2 is an impressive roster of bosses, both in quantity and quality. You face off against dozens of unique bosses, each with its own set of mechanics, timings, and strategies. And they are not just hard, they are smart, creative, and stunningly designed. Some of them are fast paced samurai duels, where reading your opponent's stance and timing of your counters is everything. Others are gigantic monstrosities, yokai are brutal AoE attacks, environmental hazards, or terrifying pace changes. One standout is a beast of a man who literally fights alongside a flaming demon horse. Others are an eerily owl sort of creature that forces you to deal with both combat and environment puzzles at once. These fights are challenging but fair. Each time you lose, you learn something, and that loop learning adjustment overcoming is what makes Souls like combat so satisfying. Nioh 2 nails this, feeling better than almost any other game in the gene in the series, right? In the Souls like series. Plus, with the yokai shift system, you can temporarily transform into your demon form with unique abilities, giving the boss fights another layer of depth and intensity. If there's one area where Nioh 2 doesn't quite reach greatness, it's the level design. The game uses a mission-based structure, meaning that each level is a standalone area rather than an interconnected world like Dark Souls. While that makes it a bit more accessible, it also means there's less environmental storytelling and world cohesion. Some levels are cool, like corrupting villages, haunting shrines, war-torn castles, but others can start to blend together, especially if you're playing for long sessions, right? Many areas reuse similar textures and layouts, and it can feel quite repetitive by the mid-game. That said, there are optional missions and hidden spirits to find and branching paths, so it's not all straightforward. There are a good amount of exploration, loot hunting, and risk versus reward decisions to make. In addition to the Dark Realms, the addition is the Dark Realms, corruption zones within levels that increase difficulty to reduce your stamina recovery, and it adds variety to keep you on your toes. These zones create intense, mini challenging, and larger level design choices. One of the best surprises is the multiplayer in 2025 in Nioh 2. You can summon up to 2 other players for co-op, making boss fights and tough areas much more manageable. Or just play for fun. There are no PvP in this game, but there is a feature that's really clever. You can fight AI controlled versions of other players on their graves, which you'll see like a red sword sticking out the ground. You go to select it and you fight them, then you get their loot, which helps you sort of earn loot and keeps things competitive. Also helps you grind as well. Thanks to Nioh 2's strong player base, you can still find co-op partners pretty easily, especially on PC, and since the game supports full co-op from nearly the entire campaign from start to finish, it's a great way to experience the game with friends from start to finish of the game. It's rare to see games like this with such a robust, long-lasting multiplayer system years after launch, but Nioh 2 pulls it off. I literally played most of the game with other people from start to finish, and they were all completely random. I had to wait about 5 minutes to find 2 people in the game. Really active 5 years after launch. It's really good. Now let's talk about what really separates Nioh 2 from its peers, the combat system. While other Souls-like games tend to be slower and more methodical, Nioh 2 tends to be fast, technical, and highly customizable. You can switch between 3 stances, high, mid, and low, each offering moves, speed, and defensive options. Mastering how and when to use these stances is key to survival. The key system, or the key pulse system, adds a unique rhythm to the game. Basically, you can recover stamina by timing a pulse after each attack. It feels kind of like hitting a reload button in the middle of a combo. Nail the timing and you can keep the pressure up, miss it and you will be vulnerable. There are also a huge variety of weapons from katanas, dual swords, hatchets, spears. Each one plays completely different and has its own skill tree, so experimenting is actually fun and rewarding. You also have magic, ninja tools, spirit guardians, soul cores. Nioh 2 gives you so many tools to create a build that fits your style. Want a fast-paced poison and throw-in ninja? Go for it. Prefer it to be heavy armored and turn into a demon tank? That works too. Few action RPGs give you this much freedom and give you every choice to make it feel meaningful, right? If you're wondering about content, don't worry, Nioh 2 is packed with loads of stuff to do. There are 3 DLC expansions, adding new story missions, weapons, enemies and boss fights. These aren't just throwawayable add-ons either, they are high quality, challenging and packed with lore. And once you beat the main game, there is a deep new Game Plus or New Game Plus system with multiple different difficulty tiers, better loot, new challenges and modifiers to keep things interesting. If you want to play a game that you can spend sort of 80 to 100 hours mastering, Nioh 2 easily delivers that with a DLC. So 5 years later, is Nioh 2 still worth playing? 100% yes. Nioh 2 is a fast, challenging and beautiful crafted action RPG that deserves way more recognition. The combat is some of the best of any Souls-like I've played in a long time, period. The boss fights are epic, multiplayer still works great and there is a ton of content to enjoy. Sure, the level design is a bit average and the mission structure may not be for everyone, but they are small issues compared to everything else that does right in the game. Whenever you are sort of a whole hardcore Souls-like fan or just someone looking for a decent RPG, action RPG, a rewarding with tons of style, Nioh 2 is absolutely worth your time, even 5 years later in 2025. If I had to score this game, I would give this easily a 9 out of 10 for a Souls-like game. It is pretty much spot on what you want to play in a Souls-like game. Everything works, there are no bugs, everything is just perfect. 5 years on, there's still a decent multiplayer fan base and you can find games pretty much within 5 minutes of searching for people to help you. Yeah, 9 out of 10 easily. I had a lot of fun completing this game and I've only completed it within the last week of this video going up. So yeah, highly recommend it, and that is my review of Nioh 2 in 2025. What do you think? What was your hardest boss in this game? Are you going to pick it up? You can pick this game up for sale for sort of half price, like 20 bucks. Easily worth the money. And if you like this video, hit the like and subscribe button, and I'll catch you on the next video. Peace.